How you doing, guys? I want to tell you a story that culminates in a lesson of how Karens, like people who complain about nothing or a liability to society, and they waste tax dollars and they jeopardize the reputation and the efficacy of law enforcement because law enforcement are very fit, able bodied, and committed human machines that have to be dedicated to their job. And they serve the public. And they they're too invaluable so that people who complain about superfluous ordinances or who have to create more and more superfluous ordinances. Did you guys hear that noise? Due to basically causing potential or exacerbating enmity between the people or the common folk and law enforcement, right? For example, let's say it's 9:30 on a Saturday and you're playing music really loud and you're having a good time and you're with your chick or potential new chick and someone complains about your loud music and it's only 9:30 on a Saturday. You get the point, something like that, okay? And under my idea of how society should be ran, that's kind of a joke, right? Who am I? But I'm libertarian, theistic, whatever. Who cares, right? All I know is I'm just trying to say that law enforcement should just, how like the fire department get to chill until there's a real emergency, then they have to act. So to it should it be law enforcement and civilians should just respect each other, don't cut each other off the freeway. You get the point, right? But I want to give you a story about how Karens could have caused a whole retarded incident, okay? So I was hiking the other day. Where I was hiking, people drive up these, there's a mountain, and they go there to shoot their guns. Or, what's even just as common is people riding dirt bikes, and mountain bikers, and last on the list is hikers, okay? So there I was, a hiker, and I take something for adequate protection, right? And that happens to be a cold steel kukri. What I'm holding in this thing, which I'm not going to showcase because it'll freak the cameras out, is pretty much a sword, okay? I have a knife testing channel. I elaborate in detail about it, whatever. So, sure enough, I'm walking past this commune or whatever, right? And three or four dogs. I think three were formidable looking until they got close. I mean, they were good sized dogs. When I finally got a good look at them, they weren't killers. One looked like half German Shepherd. You get the point. But they're large dogs, and they're running, and I have plenty of time. I get this sumbitch out, and they're not letting up. I'm not encroaching on their property. I'm passing by. I whip this sucker out and point to the dog, and I'm like, "No, doggy, you better get the F back," right? So, and then I finally hear a normal human voice, right? You gotta understand, I'm an ogre, so in my world, it's naturally gonna come out, "Hey, little doggies, you better back the F up." And then I hear a normal man's voice like,
"Hey, doggies, get back here with the F,
That's how, like, normal dudes that don't vote for Trump or listen to heavy metal sound like, and, or don't eat steak every day. And so that happened, and then sure enough, as I'm resheathing this and I wave thank you and try to be nice to the dogs, I hear,
"Oh my god, that guy totally has a sword or something."
I'm very sure from what you trust your instincts. When my data, my spidey senses collected data, and they were calling the authorities, right? And I'm very sure, kudos to you guys, San Bernardino County Sheriff or whatever. I'm pretty sure they didn't come out. They're like, "Oh, Thank you, Mr. Karen. We'll get on that right away. And they hung up and never came because they know people go up there to shoot guns and to live free and whatever, hopefully not detrimentally nefarious, litter their shotgun shells all over the place. And law enforcement doesn't want to get involved because they know it's just normal people exercising their Second Amendment. They have more important things to do. They don't want to drive all the way up there. I mean, you need like a Ford Raptor. You need like at least a four-wheel drive to be confident enough to traverse that terrain, to negotiate all the crevasses and all the turmoil of the road is just beat up. And sure, they're like, okay, Mr. Karen, sure, we'll get on that right now. And thanks to God and their better judgment, they never came down. But the whole story was an example of how like snooty normies and Karens should just basically butt out. And their superfluous complaining is going to exacerbate stupid tensions between whatever the crap, you know. I would never, I try to be as very respectful and show that I'm a very safe, inadvertent subject every time law enforcement has to come vet me out. But it's just a case in point example that we have liabilities in our country. They're called Karens, and they're called people that never get off their ass or don't understand what it's like to have robust hobbies. And if you understand what that's about, leave a story or a scenario or an example of how you had to survive the perils of Karen, and you guys have a blessed one, and you keep on rocking in the free world.